The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Hi, I'm Kevin O'Flaherty. I hope you enjoyed this Learn About Law video and podcast presented by O'Flaherty Law. If you need some help, please feel free to give us a call at 563-503-6910. That's 563-503-6910. We offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. Thanks again for watching and listening.
Hi, this is Andrew with Learn About Law, and in this video we discuss legal obligations of a landlord in Iowa and what rights tenants and landlords have in Iowa. So the federal government and the state of Iowa have specific laws in place to govern the obligations of landlords in Iowa. Landlords who don't adhere to these obligations are liable and subject to penalty under the law. While certain stipulations under landlord-tenant laws may vary from state to state, in Iowa the landlord obligations can be broken down into 5 categories. 1. Obligation to manage the security deposit and unpaid rent. Every landlord has the right to charge their tenants a security deposit. This security deposit remains the property of the tenant, but the landlord is obligated with keeping the security deposit until termination of the lease. 2. Obligation to disclosure to the owner of the property. Information about the owner of the property, including a name, address, and contact information, must be given to the tenant in writing before the tenancy begins. It is the obligation of the person who signs the lease agreement with the tenant. This information is important because the tenant needs to know who to contact in case of maintenance issues, rent collection, or legal matters. 3. Obligation to deliver possession of the unit. The obligation basically refers to the landlord being required to deliver the unit to the tenant on a contractually agreed upon date. 4. Obligation to maintain the property. The landlord must keep the property up to code, provide any repairs, maintain all common areas, keep all vital services running such as plumbing, electricity, and heat, and provide property trash receptacles. 5. Liability. The landlord is liable until the property is sold and notification of the transfer to a new owner is delivered to the tenant. The original owner is still obligated to manage the tenant's security deposit, which in the case of a transfer can be returned to the tenant minus any deductions or transferred to the new owner minus any deductions. Iowa landlords are required to disclose certain information to the tenant. This information can typically be found in the lease agreement. Some of the common items include security deposit information, information on Iowa landlord-tenant laws, presence of any potentially health hazards associated with the property, the smoking policy, any recent flooding or damage to the property, utility arrangements, etc. Failure to disclose specific information will usually lead to a penalty for the landlord. Iowa tenants reserve the right to sue their landlords for failure to return a security deposit. The claim is going to be capped at $5,000, but will usually match the security deposit amount plus attorney and court fees. Iowa tenants have the right to withhold rent due to a failure on the part of the landlord to repair or replace broken or faulty components of the property. There are a handful of actions a tenant can take if the landlord has ignored requests from the tenant to repair the property, including the withholding the full amount of the rent until the problem is resolved, bringing the claim to state and local health and safety officials, have the problem repaired by a professional and then deduct the amount from a rent payment, or they can simply move out, or they can pay the rent as normal and then sue the owner for the difference between the rent they've paid and the cost of the defective property. As always, thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Kevin O'Flaherty again. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Learn About Law presented by O'Flaherty Law. If you need some help, please give us a call, 563-503-6910. 563-503-6910. Again, we offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. If you found this helpful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts or watch your videos.